Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.
Boom, boom, boom. This is Jared and I'm back. Hey guys, I'm super excited to do the Warriors Quest show tonight. I've got some great guests. I've got two co-hosts tonight and they both bring such energy. I'm excited to do this tonight, but you know how we do. Okay, please smash that share button. All right. I need your help. Let's get this information out there because I'm the host of the Warriors Quest show, Jared A. Brown. And of course, if you don't know, now you know. All right, I spotlight a chronic disease warrior every single week. And I make sure that we get her story out there about finding a living donor. And tonight, that's what we're doing. We're going to be trying to save somebody's life. All right, we're going to be trying to get the information out there to help this person find a living kidney donor. That's what we do. All right, that's what we do. So please smash that share button. All right, make sure that you get this information out to as many people as possible. Want to give a special shout out to my twin bro. Thanks for getting up early where you live in Abu Dhabi and supporting Alan. Jim Myers, thanks for sharing. And we've got Alex Rosa. Thanks for watching, Alex. All right, so spice it up. All right, if you haven't already watched what Alex Rosa does, okay, you need to spice it up and watch what she does. She's a great advocate. That's right. So, hi, how are you? All right, so I'm going to bring on a couple of really, really great co-hosts. All right, these co-hosts that I'm going to bring on know what kidney disease is because they live it. Okay, all right, that's why we call them warriors, because they battle every day. All right, so I've asked Victoria West from Texas, all right, to to come on board as a co-host. And I have Jeremy Paracco from New Jersey. So Victoria's from Texas, and we've got Jeremy from New Jersey. I'm from Utah. All right. So we're representing all sorts of different, all sorts of different parts of the United States here. So I'm excited to do that. But before I do that, all right, please make sure when I bring them on that you give them a very special, a very warm show welcome. All right. So here's a very quick, all right, co-host video intro. Give them some love. Here we go. Co-host time. Where's my mic? Where's my mic? Hopefully you guys are still hearing me without my mic. Here we go. Boom. What is up? How you doing?
Good evening.
Good, how are you, Jared?
Good evening. I'm doing well, thank you, man. So we've got a great guest. I've had the very special privilege of meeting so many different kidney disease patients from all across the world, all across the United States, and I've been in contact with Alan Haider because of the people that my twin brother advocates for. And I'm really happy that I have him on tonight. He's full of energy in regards to bringing it every day. And so I'm excited to do that. And I'm also privileged to have you guys co-host tonight. Thank you, because Jeremy, thank you for co-hosting. You bring a great sort of vibe, and I love it. And Victoria, your story from day one, when I heard your story, has always resonated with me. And so I'm excited to have you on, because your spirit alone and your energy that you will bring will be something special. Because, the fact that you're still here with each of you, actually, Jeremy, near-death experience, and Victoria, your experience was very traumatic as well. And so you guys both have endured quite a bit. And so I'm happy to have you guys co-host. I'm excited to have this role. This is going to be good.
Thanks, Jared.
So, yeah, you're welcome. Let's do this. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Alan and Penny Haider. All right. And they're from the Pacific Northwest. All right. Salem, Oregon. All right. And so I have, when my grandparents were still alive, they lived in Coquille, Oregon, on the coast. And Oregon is beautiful. So we're going to talk to them. We're going to get his story, but I'm going to hopefully get a picture of what they like about, Oregon as well. It's been a while since I've been up there, but it's evergreens. Have y'all, Victoria, Jeremy, has any one of you been to Oregon before?
I have.
Oh,
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's been a while. It's been since 1996.
Yeah. It's probably been for me since the early 90s. So I love I've been to Washington, which isn't the same, but evergreens in Washington, the state of Washington too. But let's bring them on. All right, let's bring them on. I'm excited to get his story out there. Hopefully he can give us more insight on how this guy stays fit. It's incredible. Pull-ups, everything. He stays fit, and he's an inspiration to me. And so I'm excited to have him on. All right, so I'm going to bring on Penny and Alan Haider. Let's give them the VIP treatment, guys. I'm going to give them the VIP treatment. Here we go. VIP intro. VIP.
Good
Come
girl.
on, Alan. Let me,
Hi.
hey,
Hi,
Hi,
Alan.
Alan.
okay, what,
Hi.
gotta show the guns. You gotta show the guns. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. That's nice.
Impressive.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
thank you for coming on. Thank you very much. You know, I've had the opportunity to chit chat, message with you on Facebook Messenger, and you know, I've watched your TikTok videos, and I know that you have bad days like every single kidney disease patient, every kidney warrior. But what I
Yeah.
love is that you don't quit. You don't quit. You know, you may have one day that's a bad day, and then you may have another one, but okay, you don't quit. You keep going, you know, and I love that. You've got resilience, and I think that's powerful. It really is. So
I'm
I said in my,
really
you know,
to speak
before
out.
I brought you guys on that I I had grandparents that lived in Coquille, Oregon. Do you know where Coquille, Oregon is? It's on the coast. It's a little small town.
Is
I
it? I
just
think it's in the. Is it in the north there, north part of the coast?
Yes, it's on the
Yeah.
north part. Yes.
Yeah.
So
never
it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been there, but evergreens and I just think it's beautiful country. What do you guys like? What do you like the most about living in Oregon?
What do you like?
the mountains. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love
He
it.
said the mountains.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. Where I live here in Utah, we've got, you know, it's connected to the Rocky Mountains. We call them the Wasatch Mountains. And man, when I leave and I don't have the mountains nearby, it's something, you know, I miss it. Yeah, that's awesome. So I've got Victoria West with us, and Jeremy Paracco as co-host. And they're currently each of them on dialysis. And so they bring a great perspective. So Penny, Penny and Alan, FSGS is what he struggles with, or that's the core root of why he's on dialysis, or has his kidneys have failed. Is that right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about when that happened and how that kind of interfered with his life.
We didn't know about it until probably
10 years
10
ago.
years ago.
Yeah.
10. Yeah,
Yeah.
10 years ago. And I mean, we didn't know anything. Alan's had challenges all of his life,
Yeah.
so this was just one more.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
its FSG stands for Focal Segmental Glomerulosclerosis, and the kidneys get smaller over time.
Okay.
So when a person is born, they start out with normal sized kidneys, and then they get smaller and smaller, and until they're at the point where they need to go on dialysis, which is, of course, where he is. He's been on dialysis for a year and a half.
Okay, a year and a half.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
What kind of dialysis is he doing?
What was that?
What kind of
She's asked-
dialysis is he doing?
Hemo.
Is it
So
home
he goes
hemo
to his,
or
he
in
goes to his
center?
center,
Okay.
and he does his dialysis. He has the fistula,
Yeah.
and overall, it's gone fairly well. The fistula is very strong fistula. Sometimes they will say to him, you know, Alan, you need to maybe not lift
Yeah.
so much weight.
But no.
Really?
Yeah. And because they get concerned about the fistula. If anything goes wrong, you know, that's not good.
Right,
But
right.
so far, and he does all these pull-ups.
Yeah.
And you may have seen his TikTok video. I think
Yes.
he has a Facebook video where he does all these pull-ups. He does like 20 of them.
Yeah, I've seen his reels. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's admirable.
It really
I
is.
can't even do one, so
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
And so, you know, for him to be able to do that, and still be doing dialysis, I just think is amazing.
Oh yes.
But like you were saying in the beginning, he has his ups and his
Yeah,
downs, and
yeah.
he gets discouraged. There's just all sorts of discouragement, but the weight training that he does seems to keep him going. That seems to be
Yeah.
what, if he did, I don't know how this would go if he didn't have
Right.
that.
I was going to ask about that because I know that in many ways that when someone is when someone's active, they say that if you're active, like whether it's pull-ups or jogging, running, hiking, as long as you're active and you're moving, that your brain actually functions better than someone who's constantly just sitting around.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, absolutely.
you know what I
Yes.
mean? Would you guys agree? I mean, and so
Absolutely.
100%.
You just feel better. I mean, you just feel better all around.
Oh
right.
yes.
In fact, Jonathan here. Thanks for watching, Jonathan. I love this guy. My brother Jonathan. He's a good testament to that because, man, this guy, just he's a guy who goes out and walks, does what he can to stay fit. In fact, homeboy lost like over 100 pounds when he had to. Yeah, and he's an inspiring guy, but he stays as active as he can, and so that anyway, that was kind of what I was going to ask. Is that I know that when people do yoga and they do some form of fitness, that it helps them stay centered, and I know that Cobra Kai is really popular on Netflix right now,
Oh
and many
yeah,
and
yeah.
so if I
Oh
could use
yes.
kind of my inner Cobra Kai or Karate Kid, is that it's to stay balanced and use your inner chi. It sometimes there are so many different things that are attacking us. Because man, I tell you what, there's so many negative neurons in my brain, right? And if we can have something that helps us stay centered, to keep us grounded, right? Then I think
Hmm.
that's so important. And for some people, it may be, pull-ups, like for Alan here. For other people, it may be walking. For other people that I've interviewed, I've actually interviewed other people where it's baking, in the kitchen. So each person has something that channels, their energy away from negativity. And
Right.
and it sounds like for Alan that maybe what helps him keep his positivity as much as possible, because it's impossible to be positive all the time, and that's not going to happen. That's not realistic. But to have
No.
something that can help you is important. And it sounds as though that's been a big help and not detriment to him. To keep him
Yeah.
balanced. That's good.
When he first started, he had an absolute phobia about needles. And
Oh, really?
I mean, if you have a phobia about needles and you are
Yeah.
doing dialysis, it is a problem.
Oh no.
And so, yes, and he got used to it. He got used to it. They would call me from the center
Okay.
and tell me that they were having a hard time putting the needle in. But then, Alan just, he had to do it. There's no other way you can do the dialysis other than
It's do or die.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
now, do the needles bother you anymore?
No more.
No.
Not anymore?
Have you ever tried sticking yourself?
What was that?
Have you ever tried sticking yourself, Alan?
Oh, no way.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Trust me, that is a big thing to get over.
I can't. I mean, I could sit there and watch them do it, but I won't stick myself.
I started home hemo first in 2014, and then I did it again just recently in 2019 to 2021.
Uh-huh.
And sticking myself was probably the easiest part for me. The hardest
Really?
part was controlling the alarms in the machine.
Okay.
Oh wow! I didn't know. So you do hemodialysis at home?
I actually received my third kidney transplant on January 1st, 2021. So I now
Wow.
have had my kidney for a little over a year. This is my third one, but I have done peritoneal, I have done in-center hemo, and I have done home hemo. I've done all three.
Wow.
So you've done all three, and you can talk about each one, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, by far, home hemo was the easiest because it gave me a sense of independence, and I felt somewhat more in control of my life in this chaotic disease that really does. I think someone here in the comments was saying that kidney failure changed their lives. It really
Yes.
does.
It
It
does.
really does change your life.
Yeah.
And I think being able to do dialysis at home and having some sort of independence kind of gave me a little bit of confidence and gave me some of my power back.
That's interesting you say that because there's so much control and power that's taken away when you have something life changing,
Oh, yeah.
such as kidney disease. And
Oh, absolutely.
if you can gain even a sliver of that control back, I think that could be something that could really mean a lot to somebody. Interesting viewpoint.
I did an interview with Jonathan actually, in regards to the clinics are moving more towards home dialysis, home
Yes, they are.
hemodialysis becoming more popular.
Mm-hmm.
I have a patient, very dear friend of mine, a patient that I work with, kind of as far as just helping him advocate for himself. He's a bit older and started dialysis later on in life, and they are really pushing him to do home hemo in a setting that he's not truly comfortable with. So, I mean,
Okay.
it's not for everybody. It really
It's
isn't.
not.
But for me, it gave me a sense of independence and a sense of control.
Interesting. So for you, Alan, it might be better because you had a hard time even getting used to getting stuck, cannulated. But tell me a little bit about maybe how that sometimes when people go to in-center, like Jeremy still does in-center, they feel as though they get connections with the other patients, at the clinic.
Oh, yeah.
And that can be instrumental, because you can encourage them. You can, there's all sorts of bonding that happens, of course. And so what's been something that you can take away that you do like about going in-center? Have you gotten
I like listening to music. Yeah.
Okay. What kind of music do you like to listen to?
80s, 90s.
80s and
anything.
90s?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. I like that.
You and I are going to be good friends, Alan.
Yeah. I like
Same
that
here.
a lot. Yeah.
What about the relationships with some of the nurses?
Yeah. I take to some notes still. And yeah.
So do you have your technicians, nurses,
Yeah.
the staff there? They're good people. Have you gotten along
Yeah.
well with them?
I like them. Yeah.
That's good. It's not always the case with everybody.
No.
Sometimes they struggle. Jeremy, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yes. Very much.
Yeah, that doesn't always happen, and it's good when it does. So,
Especially when you catch a patient on a bad day.
Yeah.
When they're not feeling so hot.
And that doesn't help when the nurses or the technicians aren't sensitive to those type of situations. I mean, some days, like you said, Jared, we have bad days. We have days where we wake up and we don't want to keep going, but somehow we get up and we go to that treatment. And to have a nurse or a technician that's not supportive of that situation, it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I've had really good experiences, but it's hard to walk into that clinic every day. It's hard to sit in that chair for 3, 4, 5 hours.
Yeah.
And it helps to have a supportive staff. It really does.
So
Oh,
what
yeah,
happens?
absolutely.
Go ahead, Penny.
Well, Alan had a situation probably like 2 months ago.
Okay.
Where there was a vent, a cold air vent right above the chair. that he
Oh,
was in,
wow.
and it was bad.
Yeah.
And he was
Wow.
to the point where he was thinking he wanted to go to a different center because he was so cold.
Yeah.
And nobody else wanted to sit in that chair either. And the time that he got there was he needed to be in that chair. So
You had
the
no
staff
choice.
did what they could. Actually the like one of the managers from the Northwest came and talked to Alan about the chair situation and what
Wow,
they were
really?
going to do about
That's
it.
great.
Yeah, and so they did get that fixed. Did they get that pretty much fixed?
So true.
It's not
Yeah,
perfect, but
no.
it's better.
Yeah.
And they gave him a hat. Did they give you a hat?
Yeah.
They gave him a really big, bulky hat for Christmas.
Yeah.
What?
So, and he's got. I have actually a friend from church who is making Afghans, and she wants to
Okay.
make Afghans for the patients there.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of it
Love
can be
Afghans.
I
My,
love
oh my
that.
gosh, yeah.
That is a
Type
wonderful
situation.
idea.
And so anyway, I'm not sure what's going on with that Afghan situation because my friend called them and they said, well, we have to be careful because of COVID protocol, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to get these Afghans in there. And Alan has one of them. She already made.
Okay.
She made one
Oh.
for him.
All right,
first,
awesome.
right off
He's
the
the
bat.
guinea pig.
Awesome. So, Philip, I want to give a shout out to Philip. We've got some great people watching tonight. Lisa Baxter. We've had Alex Rosa on. Jonathan Traylor. A lot of good people are commenting. And then I wanted to also mention, here we go. I'm going to go back a little bit. Hopefully she's still watching. But I want to say, of course, Jim Myers. But there was the... Now I'm missing it. Here we go. Linda. Here we go. I want to thank Linda Garish for watching. Thank you very much for watching. Because that's a name that I don't see very often, and I like to publicly thank people who, when I haven't seen their name before. Thank you for watching. So anyway, he's asking Philip from A Second Chance. He's asking, and not sure if this has been touched on, because he's coming in a little bit late on the broadcast here. But Alan, are you on the transplant list?
Yeah.
And so-
I yeah.
So what I've had, and this is what my twin brother shares, is this URL. And when you click on this URL, it has all of the information that's pertinent to becoming a living donor for Alan, right? That's the same one that my twin brother has shared previously. Is that a good URL?
I'm not seeing it. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I'm sorry, Penny, is Alan listed at multiple hospitals?
We're just getting that started. He's at
Only one.
only one right now, Legacy
Yeah.
Emmanuel in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to get listed in Seattle.
Okay.
But he isn't listed there yet.
Okay.
It seems like you have to be on dialysis for at least a year to get, at least that was the information that I got.
Yes.
So what I've been
You've only
told
been doing it
is
for a year and a half.
you
So-
do have to be on dialysis for a certain amount of time. And also they take into account your levels. Like they look at how difficult it would be to find a match for you. So I can't remember do you know what that term is, Jared?
I'm forgetting what it's called too, but you're right. They
Something
do
about
look at
your antibodies. It's a
Yeah,
measurement of your antibodies, and you fall
Yeah.
on a certain spectrum.
Your antigen
right.
level.
It's the
Thank you. Yeah.
it's PRA, like panel reactive antibody something.
And
Yeah.
they put you, they take that level into consideration and put you on a spectrum. So with me having 2 pregnancies and several blood transfusions and 2 failed transplants,
You
that
were
meant
high,
that
right?
very high. I was in the
That's what
99 percentile.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
So it was going to be very, very difficult to find me my third transplant. And by the grace of God, somehow someone
You
in
found it.
California was able. Yeah, I was only on the list. I was on the list the third time exactly 1 year, and they found me a transplant that came all the way from California to Texas.
Wow. That is
Which
awesome.
does not happen very
It
often.
does not.
Normally,
No, they
if I'm
they
not
don't
listed
travel
in
that
other
often.
states,
Most
right,
living donors don't travel like that. Yeah.
they try to find someone, a recipient within that state or that's listed very nearby. But for me, because I was so high on the spectrum, they listed me nationwide. And finding a kidney that quickly that actually was a good match for me was a once in a lifetime chance. I mean, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. And so the doctors took it and said, hey, we know it's going to be a long, cold flight over, but it did. It took them almost 2 days to get the kidney from California to me. And so it took me a few weeks for that kidney to fully wake up. But I mean, it's working great now. But just so you know, the more lists that he gets listed at, the more facilities he's listed at, the better his chances are going to be of finding a kidney too.
Right.
And doing things like this with Jonathan and Philip and Jared, I mean, the more exposure that you can get is truly helpful. There are good people out there. There really are, and somebody's going to help you.
Yeah. So I obviously so my twin brother has been helping Alan. He's made some posters, some videos, and then Jonathan Traylor is a great advocate. But I want to leave this comment here. Hopefully you can see it, Penny. But Philip from A Second Chance. Philip is an advocate, but he also is currently looking for a kidney donor. He is on dialysis as well. He does a live stream show as well. It is broadcast on Facebook and YouTube, and he does it with Tafaro Cook, and he's giving an invitation. I think that's very, very kind. And so if I can get you connected, you could also get some more exposure and be online again in an interview somewhat like this on his show, A Second Chance. And so thanks, Philip.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Philip.
Yes, that'd be wonderful. Alan wanted me to tell you, I don't know if I can say this right. Thank you. I think that's from Joellen.
Yeah, Joellen. She's so
Thank
sweet.
you.
Yeah, thanks, Joellen.
Alan wanted me to tell you about the first part of January. We got a call from the hospital from Legacy Emmanuel, and they said there was an accident victim, and the kidney, the accident victim and Alan were very well matched, and so they asked Alan if he would be interested in that kidney, and of course he was. And so we were getting ready to go up there, and then Alan got a call within a few hours, and they were saying that the kidney, because it was a very high impact accident, it was a bad collision, and so the kidney was not. It wasn't going to work out, so he did not get that kidney, but. He handled the situation very well, and I think that it was a positive in that. And I'm not sure if you guys can relate to this. You're on these lists, and and as a person, you don't know if anybody's paying any attention. But that was helpful because I felt like people were paying attention. There was somebody that had seen Alan's situation, and so that in and of itself was very. It was a good thing. It was disappointing, but it was a good thing.
No, I understand what you're saying to a point. Jeremy, you and I have talked about this. Is that many times, and I think even Victoria will approve of what I'm saying here. Is that many times. The kidney disease patients that I've interviewed, many times they feel invisible.
Oh yeah.
sometimes from family, sometimes from friends, sometimes just from people in
In general.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so what Alan went through is valid to whatever feelings he had going through that must have been not very easy. And the
No.
fact that he's been able to keep going again is a testament to what I've said earlier, is that uh, he just keeps going. And I know that, again, a bad day is going to come. Many bad days may come,
Oh,
but
yes.
his resilience is what I see from his videos, and I also the comments that he makes to other people in the Facebook Messenger chats. He encourages people, and I just think that this guy has so much character. Really does. It's encouraging, and and man, Jonathan Trailers is putting right here, keep fighting, and that's what you do, Alan, and
Yeah.
I admire that. I do. You keep fighting.
It takes a
This is-
very strong person to
it.
go what we are going through. It
Yes.
takes a very strong person.
Yes.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course.
So
Victoria, I
Jeremy,
have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So you went through 2 failed transplants. That had to have been devastating.
I don't want to take up too much time, Jared, but do you mind if I share?
please, yeah, because again, both you and Jeremy have awe-inspiring stories, and so again, what you can share, if it in any way can not only help Alan but other people that are watching tonight, I'd love that. Please do.
So I started peritoneal dialysis at 10 years old. And
Wow.
I was on peritoneal for 5 years. I struggled very much. I actually got, if you know, peritonitis is an infection you get in the peritoneum.
Hmm.
Usually bacteria that gets into the cavity because of the dialysis access. So I did hemo at 14 years old for about a year and a half, and I got my first transplant when I was 15 in 2003. And because I started dialysis so young, like very many young patients, I didn't take care of myself. I didn't take my medicine the way I should have. I was overweight. I didn't take care of my diabetes. My blood pressure was high. And then I went and got pregnant. And I had my first child I had my son. I had him in 2013. And my kidney was already failing. And that had been 10 years. I was approaching 10 years with my transplant, and it was already failing, and getting pregnant was just way too hard on my body. And the doctor said, you're going to need dialysis. You're going to have to do dialysis with this pregnancy if you want this baby to survive. So that's what I did. I did hemodialysis 4 days a week for 4.5 hours while working full time. And I drove to the clinics here in my town, said I was too high risk. They would not treat me. So I drove to a town 45 minutes away to get dialysis 4 days a week. And my baby was 10 weeks premature. He is perfectly healthy. He's 8 years old now. He is a miracle child. But
Wow.
shortly after he was born, my transplant did fail. I was only listed for 8 months the first time there. I don't know if it was because I was a new mother that maybe that just put me a little bit higher, or it was just a true blessing. I got my second transplant in 2014, and it only lasted 4.5 years. And they don't know why. I've had many tests done. I've seen several different high-risk specialists. I've seen several different hospitals in the Dallas area, done a lot of different tests, and they can't tell me why that second one failed. I think losing my second kidney was devastating. It for one thing, it changed my life, but it also showed me how strong I could be. As a child, this was just my life. This was the life I was given. I've never known anything different. When people tell you, you're so strong, I'm sorry that you're going through this. This must be very difficult. I didn't take it as that. I took it as this is just the life that I was given, and thank God that there is something keeping me alive. But losing my kidney after my son, I think it was an awakening. It was, I'm not just living for myself now. I'm living for him. He needs a mama. I've got to be here. And there were many times after losing that second transplant and going back on dialysis that I wanted to give up. I wanted to stop. I wanted to just let it go, you know, and at points I convinced myself that my child would be okay. He has plenty of people that love him. And I have an excellent support system, and my family really did help me get through that. But I think for some reason, maybe it's because I have grown up with this disease, losing my second kidney was much more traumatic than losing my first kidney. And I really think that's because I became a mother. Yeah. And I want to give all of the praise to you, Penny, all of the praise, because I know how hard, I have seen how hard it is for a mother, my grandparents, to watch me go through this as a child. And I just give all of the praise to caregivers and loved ones and family members out there who are going through this with us. You know, we have a hard time, yeah, but those caregivers and those loved ones that watch us go through it, and there's nothing that they can do except help and be supportive, that takes an incredible person with incredible patience and incredible understanding and so much love. And Alan, you are so blessed to have your mom there. Yeah. And Penny, God bless you. Yeah. God bless you, because I know how hard it is to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Wow. You know, every time you talk about when your son was born, it tears me up. It really does, Victoria. It's really heartwarming. Jeremy, when you've had family, and God bless her soul, but you've had a mother that's recently passed away, and I know that wasn't easy for you.
No, it wasn't.
What can you say in regards to, you know, what words do you have for Alan, and what can you say in addition to what Victoria said about, you know, Penny's mom, or Alan's mom, Penny, who's, you know, giving him such support and encouragement? How powerful is that?
That's the most absolutely powerful thing in the world. My mother was a nurse was a retired nurse when she passed. And she literally nursed me back to health. Yeah. So, and that started at the hospital when I was admitted, you know, 1,500 miles away from home, because I'm originally from Florida. And she took me in. She, you know, as you know, Jared, I wasn't given that much time to live after I was put into the hospital. I mean, because they thought I had cancer. And the doctor said, Mrs. Perocco, go home, get Jeremy's things in order, because he won't live to see 2019. Well, you know what? It's 2022 now. And I can thank my mother for nursing me back to health. When I couldn't walk anymore, when my feet hurt, she got me out of bed. She nursed me back to health, and she made me walk. I can walk now 1.5 miles, 3 miles if I have to, round trip to the store and back. And I have my mother to thank for that. A mother is the best thing in the world. They're always your number one cheerleader in your corner. And Penny, I congratulate. I tip my hat off to you. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have my heartfelt emotions.
Powerful. It's powerful.
It's the most important, other than having my fiance that tells me that she loves me every day. As much as I love her, I still love my mom most. You know, and I will never ever forget that. And I never ever let my fiance forget that either. I said, I love you, but you're not my mom.
Yeah, there's
in a nice way. In a nice way, of
Right.
course.
It's a
Right.
different kind of love.
Yes.
It is. It is. Absolutely. And
I mean, I was my mom's firstborn. I'm the oldest. You know, she watched me grow up. You know, especially being an immigrant mother from the Philippines. You know, with my dad, knowing what kind of things I had to go through while struggling in the early '70s while raising me.
sure. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Can only imagine. It's
she
not easy.
it's not easy at all. And to take me back in at 49 years old, you know, take me back into the house where other people are turning their kids away. You know, I've had social workers that have told me if my son ever came to me with kidney disease, I'm sorry, my door is not a revolving door. You know, and Alan, you're very lucky
Very
that you're with your mother. Very, very lucky. God bless you, Penny.
Thank you.
Hey, a couple of people. We've had a couple people questions here. One is from my twin brother, and then another one, the Kidney Donor Awareness Facebook group, and so it's not coming up. Only reads Facebook user, so I'm not sure. But I'll read both of them. One is from, again, my twin brother, Jeff, and it reads here, what gives Alan hope each day? So that's the first one. The other one is similar. It reads, how does Alan get through the hard days? So they're similar questions. Alan,
Yeah.
how do you find hope, or how do you get through the hard days?
It's it's in ill. Yeah. I just want to die. I want to keep on morphine and yeah.
Well, you've got quite a drive, and and I know that each person has their own experiences. Jeremy has
Yeah,
his, and Victoria's has hers.
can I
But
say something? You
Yeah.
yes,
have
please.
one life to live. That is one.
Mhm.
One. Yeah.
That's true. That's a good point.
That's absolutely.
Yeah.
Only one life to live.
Yeah.
So Jonathan here is asking, most of them do, and so sometimes I just take that for granted and I assume such. He's asking about the voucher program and paired exchange program, and so I presume that your hot transplant hospital accepts both of those, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. They told us
So,
that in the beginning that they were
mhm.
part of the paired exchange program and that voucher program. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So,
I mean,
recently,
I don't know a lot about it, but I know
okay,
that they are part of it. So
good, good.
Um,
I'm
And
not familiar with the voucher program.
yeah, I was
there
gonna
are some
ask the
slight
same thing.
differences. Yeah, there's some slight differences.
Hmm.
The one thing I'm, and hopefully I can get some points from other people, but what I recently is that, for to give an example, is that Shane Blanchard, he had
yeah.
somebody do the voucher program, and it was not the paired exchange program. And the voucher program, from if I can give kind of like a layman's sort of explanation, a layman's explanation is that it can actually speed it up much faster. And that's, now it doesn't always happen like with Shane Blanchard, where it's his living kidney donor had surgery, donated his kidney, and then literally like a week and a half later, I think not even 2 weeks later, Shane Blanchard got the call. So that doesn't always happen that way, but from what I understand, generally speaking, the voucher program is a little bit faster, and whereas with the paired exchange program, it may take anywhere from 6 months to a year, to
Right.
for after someone's donated before you get your turn. again, I would like to hear comments from other people that and get their explanations, but that's my layman's sort of explanation.
And see,
This,
from my
yeah.
experience, I did not, up until my third transplant, I did not even know there was such a thing as the paired exchange program. So I don't, there's not a whole lot of talk about that, or, both of my first transplants, I had never been told about that. So I didn't know that that wasn't even an option.
Wow.
It's the first that I've heard of the voucher program too. That's amazing. So it's basically just a willing donor, a live donor that's willing to say, I want to donate my kidney to someone.
Right. So if they're not the blood type, if they're not the right blood type, they can still donate, and they donate their kidney to someone who's in need, which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
And then they get a voucher, and I don't know if it's a real paper voucher or what kind of voucher
Like a
it really
coupon?
is. Maybe maybe it's digital. I don't know, but there's some sort of voucher that says, that's official, that that they will be, that they'll be kind of, their chances will be expedited, and that they will be higher on the list because of what their friend has done to donate his or her kidney to someone else that's the right
Kind of like calling dibs
for them.
That's incredible.
Yeah, for the most part.
I had when I was running the Facebook support group before Jared, which I had someone reach out to me that I believe he had lost a parent to kidney failure and was unable to give them a kidney, and he was searching for someone to donate his kidney to. And I wish that I had known about that program, because I really did not know how to help him. And he was very motivated, reached out to me through the Facebook group and kind of told me his story. So I think it's very important that you're getting that information out there, because I don't know that there's a lot of education for that.
There certainly does need to be more education, more awareness about it, for sure. Because there was a time where actually I didn't know there was a difference between the paired exchange program and a voucher program. I just thought they're the same thing but different terms. Like when someone calls something a tomato and someone else calls it a tomato. I just thought it was a different way to say it, But there are differences, and they're two different things. So it's good that we constantly learn. But yeah, my twin brother's he's telling us right here, it wasn't even a week after his cousin donated on his behalf that Shane Blanchard was that he got the call. So it really increased his chances and expedited everything for him. So,
I didn't know that Shane had gotten that. That's incredible.
Yeah. And so when you were talking about your support group, was it, Victoria, was that the Facebook group that you created for Texas, right?
Yes, I did. It was I can't even remember the name. I had started the Facebook group as a support group, and I was starting to gain a little bit of traction, and then I got hacked, and I got kicked out of my own group. And so now the group is still there, but it's not active, and I cannot log in to change anything. What's weird is that it did not even affect my personal Facebook. It only affected the group. So I really don't use Facebook very much. The only thing I really get on Facebook for is work, or if I'm, participating in all the support groups that we all belong to. So.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting how that happens, but I think what happens when someone loses control, that's a moderator or an admin, and then it goes to anybody who was a moderator, and if there is no moderator, then I don't know what happens.
It's up for grabs after that.
Yeah, what happens? It's just there, and there's still members there, and I even got one person reached out to me and said, "Hey, did you kick me out of your group?" And I said, "No, I don't even have access to it anymore."
So anyway, let's get back to the paired exchange program / voucher. So it's important to talk about that, because again, I didn't know there was a difference, number one, and then Victoria saying that that it wasn't made aware to her early on. And so how important is that? I mean, we've got to get more people to know about this
Oh yes,
stuff.
Absolutely.
especially the paired exchange program.
Yeah.
That's I was made aware of that from day one of my dialysis by my social worker.
Yeah.
They let me know.
How long ago, Jeremy, did you start dialysis? Did you say 2019 or?
I started dialysis in November of 2018, but I started going to my dialysis center in January of 2019,
Okay.
just 2 months after. That's
Hey,
why
so
I know my text very, very well.
Yeah.
that's awesome. Very nice.
I have a funny story too that I started, like I told you, I started doing I started doing hemodialysis at 14 at a local clinic. Like my grandfather had to fight to get me in because they didn't want to take a juvenile patient. And here we are 10 years, 20 years later. And I went back on dialysis a couple of years ago in 2019. And the same techs and nurses were still there and remembered me from when I was a child. So,
Really? Wow.
Wow.
yeah.
So, guys, listen. Here's a comment from Shane. I want to give a shout out to Shane
Yeah.
Blanchard. He's actually tuning in right now. Love Shane Blanchard. He's got such a great sense of humor.
Great.
You know, if you haven't watched his TikToks just make me they make me laugh like a little schoolgirl. They're funny. So he's saying right here, I still have a voucher for the rest of my life through NKR. Now that's National Kidney Registry, if I'm not mistaken. Since
Yeah.
it wasn't used through them, it went towards deceased. But NKR still honors for aiming if I ever need it. That's amazing. Wow.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is great.
That's really cool. So, I guess what I want to do right now is just tell anybody who's watching that, again, many times that I used to always put down the blood type of my guest, but there came a time where I stopped doing that because number one, it could be confusing for people that don't know their blood type, and then number two, it excludes people because if they're not the right blood type, then they feel like they can't donate. And so I really started not doing that. And I started really trying to talk about the paired exchange program more and not putting
Right.
a person's blood type here. But my twin brother says right here, okay, in this comment, I'm going to bring it up again, that Alan Haider is blood type AB, which is compatible with all blood types.
Right.
Just like me.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I may be positive as well.
Oh, you're AB positive also?
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. That's
so
helpful.
that's very beneficial for both Jeremy and Alan. That's
And Alan, they also say that that's the same blood type as Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He was also AB positive.
Wow, I think
Really?
it's noted. Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't know that either.
Oh.
But we got the
I
lovely
mean, I don't know
Lisa
if
D
it's
watching.
true, but that's what they say, that Jesus Christ was AB positive.
Mm.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That opens up a whole new door of questions for me now.
It really does, yeah. So, it's a good question. We've got somebody from the Kidney Donor Awareness Facebook group. If you would, whoever's putting this comment here, please put your name in the comment as well, because Restream will ask for you to give permission, and it won't tell us who you are unless you've given permission. So if you could just kindly put your name in there. But it says right here, are more patients being transplanted with NKR, AKF, or others? That's a good question. I know that it's a good advantage to get more connected with registries like this. UNOS is great, but NKR, of course, with the voucher program, I think it's a great advantage. I would encourage everybody to try to get more information about NKR.
That's good to know, because I have my meeting with my transplant hospital on March 2nd. So
Okay.
now I have more questions to ask them as well.
Yeah.
Are you with
Yeah, great.
AKF as well, Jeremy?
No.
There's a lot of benefits with AKF as well. If you
No.
get registered with them, there's a lot of benefits.
I'm not
Yes.
with the. All I know is that my hospital is affiliated with the NKR. That I do know.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. All right. All right. So
Which
it's
is
the
yeah.
no, sorry about that, Jeremy. I was just say the person that has been asking those questions is the lovely Thelma. Thelma is she is a heart transplant recipient who's on dialysis. Love Thelma. Thank you for watching, Thelma. How inspiring is that? She's a heart transplant
Very
recipient
inspiring.
who is also currently looking for a living kidney donor, and she's on dialysis. So, man, thank you
I
for
would love to
watching,
get her
Thelma.
on a show too.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's been
That would
Warriors
be
Quest
Yeah.
show.
incredible.
Yeah.
She's also
Yeah.
been
Good.
interviewed by Jonathan Traylor. She's been interviewed by Nashonda Larimore. She's been on some other broadcasts, but she's inspiring. She really is.
Hmm.
Anyway, so we're
Very
coming to
much.
the end here. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask kind of a question that one question, then I'm going to give it. I'm going to allow you, Penny and Alan, if you would, to do a shout out. I love doing shout outs at the end of the show. But a question that I would have for you, Alan, is many people think of what their life would be like after transplant, post transplant. Um, I'm
Yeah.
sure Victoria thought this, and I'm sure Jeremy's thinking of this now. What what are some things that you would like to either do again that you haven't done in a while, or
Yeah.
what would it mean for you, and how would it change your life after transplant?
I get uh, get my NOC back in me. Yeah. And yeah, I like to go to Hawaii.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I've only been to Hawaii once, and my twin brother, Jeffrey A. Brown, okay, lived in Hawaii back in 2009. And um, he was gracious enough, you guys, to, um, invite me to visit him. And my wife and I visited him. He was in the Garden Island, Kauai, and we spent almost 2 weeks there. So I've been just there once, and it's beautiful. That would be so fantastic if I get a call from you, Penny, or Alan, and you guys tell me that he's been transplanted, because then
We'll
Yeah.
all go.
I'm gonna,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that would be fantastic. That would be so exciting. For you to do that. I think everybody deserves some excitement. Everybody deserves something to look forward to, and so that's great. Now, second part again is the shout out. All right, so I wanted to redo this because I've done a graphic here, and every time I show it, it covers people. So I apologize. So I'm just going to briefly show it. Okay, now it's covering up. It's covering up Alan. Oh my gosh! All right, so it reads shout out. There I am shouting out. So anyway, I'll remove it because I don't want to cover anybody. But so it's shout out time. So Penny and Alan, all right, whom would you like to shout out? Whether it's somebody in the kidney disease community that, like my twin brother, or anybody that's maybe given you some inspiration, anything you want, or anybody that you'd like to shout out. Who would you like to shout out, guys?
My my mom.
Nice. I love
My
it.
mom video for me.
Good answer. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great answer. I love it.
it is.
And I would like to shout out to Jeff, your brother.
Mm-hmm.
We've had so many different challenges, and Jeff he's so encouraging. He's helped, and he knows that, and I so appreciate it.
Yes.
Especially a situation that we had last week. So
Okay. All right.
I'm
You
not
know,
going to
I
comment on it,
you
but
don't have to. You don't have to. But it
yeah.
doesn't surprise me because my twin brother has a huge heart. He does. He's got a big heart, and he has so much love for all of the people in the kidney disease community. He really does. So yeah, he's done a terrific job advocating for people. I'm glad that he's in your corner, Alan. All right, so
Thank you.
so quick shout outs or quick words of encouragement from Victoria and Jeremy. Victoria, what kind of words of encouragement would you give to Alan?
Just don't give up. You're doing
Mhm.
absolutely incredible things. You are a very, very strong individual, and your mother is a very strong person as well. You just keep doing what you're doing, and the more friends that you make, like Jared and Jeff, just, reach out to that community because they have done a lot for me, and I know they've done a lot for many other people. So you have a family here. You really do. And I am so, so excited to go follow you on TikTok now.
Yeah.
Oh, same here. Same here. Alan, my best words of wisdom to you are every day that you wake up is another blessing.
Yep.
Every day that you wake up with your mom is a double blessing. Always keep that in mind. Your mom is there for you. She's supporting you. I don't have my mom anymore, and I miss her dearly. But you still have your mom, and your mom is your number one cheerleader.
Yeah.
Always
number
remember that.
one. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
So,
you.
Penny, again, I admire you. I admire any kind of caregiver because know what my mom went through to get me where I am today, and I already tipped my hat to you, but if I could hug you through this screen, I would.
Thank
Virtual
really
hug
would.
time, virtual hug out.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go. But Alan, stay strong. If lifting weights or lifting your own body weight, which I can't even do,
That's impressive.
makes you happy,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone else say any different.
Yeah. I get a workout bike at home.
Because
Yeah.
it's all in here. It's all in your
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah.
If you don't have that inspiration, then what are we? We're dead without that
Gotta have a
inspiration.
drive. You're right.
Yeah.
You
have
gotta have
to.
a drive. Yeah, absolutely.
For some people, it's religion, like me. My faith is my drive, but my family is also my other drive. And the fact that I can wake up every morning is a blessing.
Jonathan Traylor
Oh,
always
okay.
says, find your why. And it looks like you
Yeah.
really have found your why. And that's what's going to keep you going. It's very inspirational.
It is.
I wholeheartedly agree. You've got to find your why. You've got to have a drive, and to have a bonus where a caregiver, your mother, is giving you so much support is wonderful. Because again, there are other kidney disease patients that aren't as lucky, they're not as fortunate, and there's a lot of love that can build up people, lift people up, and you've got that love with your family, with your mother, and that's wonderful.
Oh, absolutely.
So it is. I'm uplifted, and I'm not even doing pull-ups, so I'm uplifted. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Uplifting, we lift ourselves up when we do pull-ups. You lift yourself up physically and emotionally when you do pull-ups, and I'm inspired tonight. And I'm so thankful that we were able to all do this together because Jeremy, you bring it because you've got a great background of what you've endured and what you've experienced. Victoria, oh my gosh, you're inspiring, and you almost had me crying when you're talking about, that when your son was born, and you're
Oh yes, absolutely.
Alan, I felt inspired tonight. Okay. And if anybody doesn't feel inspired from either watching this live tonight or as a replay, then they've got to get their pulse checked. Okay. They may not be alive because you've inspired me. And that's my hope, is that if you've inspired me, inspired Victoria, Jeremy, and other people like Philip from A Second Chance, my brother, other people, Lisa Baxter, so many other people that have watched and commented tonight, Jonathan Traylor, that somebody who's watching, who's healthy enough, somebody who's watching
Yeah.
somebody who's healthy enough, okay, please get inspired. And if you get inspired, if you are inspired like I am today, okay, from Alan and from Jeremy and Victoria, from their stories, act on it. We need more
Yes.
action, people. We need more people to act on inspiration, because the sad truth is that many people get inspired. Okay, we can watch we can watch a movie, the American Hero, the story about Kurt Warner, the American underdog. We can watch that movie and get inspired, or we can watch a Star Wars movie and get inspired. Then we can go, after we've watched a big, a movie that we love and get inspired by, we can tell our friends about it. But then all of a sudden, it's what you do after you get inspired that matters. And I want anybody who's inspired to act on it. If you're not healthy enough, because I know that we're not all healthy enough, maybe you've got high blood pressure or something and you're not, then donate a share. All right, click on the share button and let's get this information out there together. All right, so you guys, again, thank you for coming on the Warriors Quest show, because you guys, this has been powerful. And my twin brother's mentioning right here, please step forward. Yes, and we need more people to encourage this. Okay, my twin brother always talks about taking action, and I love that, because again, we need people to be action oriented and step forward today for Alan, because a quality life is going to be increased when someone has a transplant. Now, it's not a cure. There is no cure, but a quality of life is going to be much better. And we want that for not only Alan, but for everybody who has kidney disease,
Yeah.
for everybody in general as a person, because I'm I have a lot of empathy for anybody. I want everybody's quality of life to be better. Now, I so happen to know a lot of people in the kidney disease community, so my heart is there. And because I've been inspired by Alan, I want someone to act on it tonight and donate to him. So if you're healthy enough, act on it, okay? And be a living donor, okay, for Alan. I'm going to show the information again right here. I've got the URL where you can follow it. Here it is again. It's for Alan. It's www.nkr.org/ZMA346. Okay, that is the URL. Follow it. Type it in there. Pause the video right here if it's a replay, and then type it in there and follow that, and it'll give you anything you need to know. And if you need more information, the transplant hospital will answer your questions. All right, guys, can I get an amen?
Amen.
Amen.
That's right. All right. So thanks again, guys. All right. Big, big, big thank you, because I can't do this alone. And when I have people that are involved, we can do great things. And I appreciate all of your efforts tonight to make this work tonight, because it's, when we have love and we work towards something, we can do great things. And I'm thankful that you guys helped me do this great endeavor tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Jared,
Yeah.
for what you
Thank
do.
you, Jared.
Yeah.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I've got so much passion. All right. I so much passion. Sometimes I wish I could bottle it up and then maybe give it to other people, because I sometimes think, how can you not be just as passionate as I am? Come on, get more energy, because we need to help as many people as possible. All right. And
That's
so
really powerful in itself, Jared, is the more that you talk about it, the more people know. And you radiate that. You radiate passion. The more that you talk about your situation, other people's situation, or just talking about FGS, just talking about all of it in general, people don't know. People don't know what we are going through, and they're not going to know until we speak up. So, Jared, you're doing an excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you. All right. Well, much love and respect to all of you. I'm going to keep on sharing this. Everyone, let's continue to share this and get this information out to the masses. All right. God bless you all. God God bless you, Penny, Alan, Victoria.
Thank you.
God bless
Thanks.
you. Jeremy, much love to you, brother. Peace.
Mm.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right. So we have been served a lot of inspiration. All right. And I'm very thankful for my co-host, Victoria, Jeremy. I'm especially thankful for Penny and Alan Haider for coming on board. I'm thankful for my twin brother, Jeffrey. Jeff, I love you, brother. His comments have been great. Comments from Thelma, Philip, Lisa Baxter. I know I try not to leave anybody out, so I'm going to go through this again. Lisa Gee, I love my homegirl Lisa. I've got, let's see, I know I've got some other people in here. I don't want to miss anybody, but I've got all right. Alex Rosa, Gwendolyn Westland, who's been on my show recently. I want to give a special shout out to her and her comments. And then Joe Ellen McFall Knight. I want to thank her for watching and her comments. And anybody else who watched but didn't comment, thank you for your support. Okay. And please, again, drop the hammer and click on that share button. Don't be stingy. All right. Let's share. Let's get this information out to as many people as possible. All right. Thanks, you guys. I'm going to say peace out. All right. I'm going to chuck up the deuces. Thank you. I'll be here again next Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Until then, all right. Stay blessed. All right. Be safe out there. Peace.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.